We're back live at Washington Field on the campus of Tuskegee University. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee getting set to meet the Tigers of Savannah State. Savannah State winners of the first ball game 13-4. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee won on yesterday 6-2. Rubber game of the match. Tuskegee will send to the mound the junior Michael Mason from Harker Heights, Texas. Mason on the season. 5.52 ERA, 2 wins, 3 losses on the season. This will be his 11th appearance for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. For the Tigers of Savannah State, they will go with the freshman Braden Thomas from Lake City, Florida. Thomas with a 2.81 ERA, 2-0 on the season. This is his 11th appearance for the Tigers of Savannah State in this rubber match. For the Tigers of Savannah State, they'll go with this lineup. Jaden Oden will bat first and play left field. Adrian McNeil will occupy shortstop. He'll bat second. Kendall Spencer plays center field. He'll bat third. Hunter Bradshaw plays first base. He will bat fourth. In the fifth position, it'll be the designated hitter Chandler Hicks. Then in the sixth spot, Deshaun Pinkleton out in right field. Desmond Moore, the third baseman, will bat seventh, and Jacob Rushing at second base. He will bat eighth, and William Mahoney behind the plate. He will bat ninth. So that's Oden, McNeil, Spencer, Bradshaw, Hicks, Prinkleton, Joseph, Russian, and Mahoney. Those are the batters for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Or the Tigers of Savannah State. For the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, they will go with Ryan Moreau at short. He will bat first. Alex Glass plays third. He'll bat second. Then it'll be Julian Greer will play center field. He'll bat third, followed by the designated hitter William Scott. Then it'll be Elijah Neal, the first baseman, batting fifth. Harrison Barnes out in right field. He'll bat sixth. And then it'll be Caleb Kirkland playing second base. He will bat seventh in the lineup. And then Gerald Bush behind the plate for Tuskegee. He will bat eighth. And it'll be Brian Hardaway, the left fielder, and Brian will bat ninth. So it'll be Moreau, Glass, Grief, Williams, Neal, Barnes, Kirkland, Bush, and Hardaway for Tuskegee when they come to the plate. Just about set to begin baseball action in our finale here with 3-game set. Tuskegee won the first. Savannah State won the earlier one today. And now set for the final ball game here on a Sunday afternoon from Tuskegee. Glad you could join us on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Back here on Tuesday. And it'll be softball action here from the softball field where the Golden Tigers will host a non-conference opponent, the Skyhawks of Point University, in doubleheader action at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. But one more to go here on this Sunday afternoon, and taking the mound, it'll be the junior Michael Mason to start things off at Tuskegee. And stepping in the box for Savannah State, Jaden Oden to get things started for them. So Mason set to toe the rubber. Teams refreshed after the first ball game. Mason squares, and this ball game is just about set to get underway as Mason sets and delivers, and the ball game's going. First pitch out of the strike zone for Mason. Mason on the season, 18 strikeouts, 44 base on balls, 31 innings pitched, and he's given up 22 hits. Mason winds and delivers that one out of the strike zone. Two balls, one strike count here on Oden. Pitched that one out of the zone at 3-1 now. So Mason way behind in this count. And that's ball 4 for the walk. So Oden starts things off with a base on balls. Tuskegee unofficially 10 walks in that first ball game. As Adrian McNeil, the shortstop for Savannah State, steps in. Down at first is Oden on the walk. So Mason trying to settle in here now. Throw over the first. McNeil, the junior, takes that pitch high. Just underway in our second ball game. That pitch inside and in tight for a ball. Ball 2. Oden at first base. Michael delivers. That chest high, but in too tight. 3-0 count now to McNeil. Mason in trouble early here. Walked Oden, and now gets a strike call there on McNeil. 3-1 to count. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled back by McNeil. Count run to full now. McNeil will be followed by Spencer. No outs here, top of the first. There's a pitch off the plate, ball 4. So back-to-back walks has Oden down to second and McNeil with that pass down to first base. This ball game slated to go 7 innings. 2 aboard already for Savannah in the top half of the first. Both on walks as Kendall Spencer, center fielder, steps in. Mason to the plate, squaring the bunt. That one's popped up just behind us. Screen catches that one. And Mason ahead in the count. Glad you could join us here on a beautiful Sunday here in Tuskegee. Charles Ward here alongside James Crenshaw handling our production for the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Mason up high with that one for a ball. Malachi Ards and Nadir Bakari handling our cameras here inside the baseball pavilion. Soon to be lighted Washington Field at Tuskegee. Some baseball at night. Shot there, caught by the first baseman, trying to dive back for the double. Got him there at first base. Good play there by Bell, or Neal that is. Caught that ball in flight and had to scamper to try to see if he couldn't catch up with McNeil before he got back to the bag, and he did. So a double play there at first base, all handled by Elgin Neal. So 2 down here. Down at second stays Oden with McNeil's off the base pads and Spencer. So that'll be Bradshaw to the plate now. Bradshaw had a booming double in the first ball game. The ground rule double as he hopped the fence with a baseball down out in center field. Oden down at second base. 2 down, top of the first. Tuskegee trying to come through this unscathed. Mason with the pitch in the dirt, but good block down there by Bush. Bush, the junior from Chicago, worked the first ball game behind the plate and starts this one as well. Mason fires a high fastball, and good job there by Bush coming out of the crouch to catch that ball. Had to really get up quickly for that one. 3 balls, no strikes to Bradshaw. Hicks would be next for Savannah. He was taking all the way and took ball 4. And Michael a bit frustrated there, can't get the pitch into the zone where he wants it. So second walk of this first inning. Bradshaw's aboard. Oden down at second, he walked. Chandler Hicks, the DH, he'll step in. 2 down, top of the first. Pitch delivered high by Mason. Michael might be overthrowing just a bit here. Frustration combined with a little bit of excitement at the start of the ball game. 1-0 count. Got one there, got it on the ground, and that one will get through for a base hit. They are going to wave Odin to the plate, and that one's bobbled out right field. And they'll score 2 runs off of that. Error out in right field pushes the run across. Harrison Barnes out there. Good solid ball game for him in the first contest, but bobbled that one, and it results in 2 runs crossing for Savannah. So Hicks with the base hit, and then the runner scoring after the error out in right field. That'll bring up Deshaun Prinkleton. Another high pitch that forces Bush to jump up quickly to pull it in. Hicks down at second base, 2 across already for Savannah, top of the first. Prinkleton, the junior from Canton, Georgia. Mason with the pitch. That one, same location. Extremely high there. Gonna pull that ball down a little bit into the release zone. It's way up top on that one. 2-0 count. This one is called a strike. Throw down the third. Glass blocks it before it goes out in the left field. Stolen base by Hicks, and that'll put him at the corner with 2 down. 2-1. Here's the pitch. That one's forces Prinkleton to bend back a bit, inside and tight by Mason. 3-1 count. That one tight inside as well. So third walk batsman in this inning for the Tigers of Savannah State. Prinkleton's aboard with a walk. So Hicks at third, Prinkleton at first. And stepping up now is Desmore Joseph. Joseph, 7th batter to come to the plate in this top half, as Gerald Bush goes out to the mound to visit with Michael Mason. So exhorting him to get the ball in the strike zone and let the defense help out a little bit. Runners at the corners. 2 already in here. Step off, throw to first base. Push Prinkleton back. Hicks at third. Mason squares now to the plate. Strike down the middle. Stolen base, probably defensive indifference there on that push down the second base by Prinkleton. More concerned about this batter right now. That one chopped on and foul. Mason a bit lower in the strike zone now, the last couple of pitches. Runners at second and third. Trying to hold it to just a 2 spot for Savannah in the first. And the pitch. Chopped out the right field, coming hard on that one. Out to play it on the hop is Barnes. And that'll send 2 to the plate as Hicks crosses. And shortly after he does, Prinkleton comes across. So a single out to right field by Joseph. And he'll pick up 2 RBI as Hicks crosses, and so does Prinkleton. And the inning continues for Savannah State. Jacob Rushing, the second baseman, steps in. "4-0 lead for Savannah. It's pitched fastballs off the plate by Mason. He did exactly what the catcher Bush exhorted him on to do was to get the balls in the strike zone and at least get the play started, perhaps defensively get some help there. There's a strike there on the inside corner by Mason. Fortunately, that ball was hit out to right field for a base hit. 4-0 lead for Savannah. And pitch at the knees. Another good pitch there by Michael. And he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joseph down at first base for Savannah. Moore kicks and fires. Swung on and missed by Jeff Russian for the strikeout and retiring on the side. But Savannah pushes across 4 in their first half of this first inning. They lead at 4-0. Tuskegee coming to the plate. The freshman Braden Thomas on the mound for the Tigers of Savannah State. 2.81 ERA. 16 innings pitched. Thrown 9 strikeouts, 10 base on balls. Teams batting just 197 against him. It'll be Morrow, Glass, and Greer to start things off for Tuskegee. Ryan with a good first ball game in the first of our doubleheader. That one chopped out the right field, slicing. Will it get down? Just, they call it a fair ball. Rounding first base and headed into second, Ryan Morrow. He'll stand, park it fair for a double. So his good hitting continues in the second ball game. His first trip too, he doubles out to right field. Alex Glass now moved up to the 3 spot in the batting order. And has to step it up a little bit here from the plate. Struggled a bit in that last ball game, struck out twice in that contest. Got Morrow down at second base. Glass, 242 hitter on the season. Thomas checks the runner, fires to the plate. That one in tight on Alex. Morrow at second, pitch there. Whack to the shortstop. Good fielded play there by Mike McNeil across the diamond. He was able to get down in time for the out. Threw it high, but Bradshaw elevated to get it and able to come down on the bag before Glass could cross. So out number 1, Morrow stays put at second base. Ranging to his right was a shortstop, Adrian McNeil. Able to get up and throw it across the diamond. Threw it a little bit high, but Bradshaw able to recover on that play. 1 down for Tuskegee. 4-0 lead for Savannah. Julian Greer in the box now for Tuskegee. Watches the ball low to start this sequence. One down. Ryan Morrow doubled. He's at second base for Tuskegee now. They throw a pickoff play back there, and he slides back in safe. Scott Williams on deck for Tuskegee. That one out to the third baseman. Good ranging catch there by Joseph across the diamond, tagging him on the way. Good defensive work at first base there by Hunter Bradshaw. That one a bang-bang play for him at first as well. He had to come off the bag, make the catch, and tag Greer as he was running by, and he did both of those. So Greer's retired on a 5-3 put out. That'll bring up Scott Williams, the designated hitter. Williams with a couple of base hits in the first ball game. Morrow down at second base. They're trying not to leave him there. 2 down. Thomas fires, looks for the corner, didn't get a call. Williams, junior from Atlanta. Swings at that pitch, fouls it off at the plate. Count to 1-1. Neal on deck for Tuskegee. 1-1 pitch. Right side to the second baseman, fielded by Russian on the first, and they retire Williams and Tuskegee. So Tuskegee leaves a man on board after Morrow doubled. They leave him down at second base. We go to the top of the second, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Tigers of Savannah over Tuskegee. Welcome back, everybody, to Washington Field. We head into the top of the second. It's a 4-0 lead for the Tigers of Savannah State over Tuskegee. Golden Tigers with a chance there in the bottom of the first. Morrow started the inning with a double, and they couldn't get him home from there. William Mahoney, the catcher for the Tigers of Savannah, steps in. Michael Mason fires his first pitch. That one's in for a strike, chest high, right across the lettering. The junior fires again. This one chopped up, bounced at the plate, rushing over there to get it, and the throw over the first base. That's true by Kirkland for the out. That'll go as a 1-4-3 put out. Baseball made contact with the pitcher there. And Mahoney is retired. Back to the top of the order now for Savannah. Jaden Oden slaps it back at the mound. This one gloved by Mason. He'll go halfway over and underhand it to Neal for the out. So good work off of the mound by Michael Mason for Tuskegee. 2 quick outs here in the top of the second. Adrian McNeil, shortstop for the Tigers, back up at the plate. He walked in that first inning. Was involved in that double play in that first. That's when it looked like Tuskegee was going to come away from that inning, not with much damage. But with 2 downs, that's when all of the scoring took place for them. They put 3 across after that. Mason rocks and fires the first pitch here. That one's high for ball 1. That one closer to the zone and called a strike there by Jonathan Smith. So Smith behind the plate in this ball game. Matt Stanfield out in the field with the officiating crew. That one swung on and missed. Good change of location there by Mason. They were working him near the chest area with the fastballs. This time they dropped down near the knee area with some effect. And ahead in the count. Just off the plate there. A 2-2 count here. Chopped on and fouled out of play. Two pitch on his way from Mason, trying to go 3 up, 3 down here. Curveball, just a bit low there. We're full at 3-2 now after that curveball missed. 3-2 pitch from Mason. Swung on, chopped out of play, left side, just beyond the Tuskegee dugout. And we'll do the 3-2 again. Mason readies, fires a pitch. That was hit deep to left field, backtracking toward the fence line, and that one hits the fence on the run. So rounding first base is McNeil. He'll come in with a stand-up double for Savannah. Almost drove it the length of the park. Hit that fence about midway up. Got a good charge in that baseball. So he wins that battle, and he'll have the double at second base. So Kendall Spencer now, center fielder, steps in the box as Mason regroups after that double by McNeil. Michael to the plate. This one chopped on. This one hit deep to center field, backpedaling. Looks like he's got enough room back there. Greer circles, and that baseball parachutes into his glove to end the top of the second. No damage done there. They leave a man stranded at second. Tuskegee trails 4-0. They come to the plate after this timeout. Back live here at Washington Field. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Tuskegee trailing 4-0. Elijah Neal, Harrison Barnes, and Caleb Kirkland be the first 3 batters for Tuskegee, and head coach Chadwick Hall. Gerald Bush, if one of those players gets on base. Good double play by Elijah Neal. in that first inning. See if he can transition some of that into offense now. Takes the first pitch over for a strike from Braden Thomas, the freshman. 0-1 pitch. Same location, but this one just a tad lower. Ball 1. 1-1. Thomas delivers. That's a better pitch there from him, finding that corner, really spotting it up for Savannah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Neal ready. Thomas and fires. That one low. They're trying to keep it away from Neal on the inside so far. See if they come to the inside now. They've been working the corner throughout this sequence. They come in tight there. They got a ground ball to the shortstop. McNeil fields, loops it across the diamond for out number 1. Good pitch sequence there between Mahoney and Thomas on the mound. Harrison Barnes, the right fielder, will step in for Tuskegee. Thomas cocks and fires for Savannah. Eye level and off the plate for ball 1. Harrison, the junior from Cincinnati. .246 batting average. Leads the team in on-base percentage at .470. Took a look at another ball there. Good look there by Barnes. Ahead in the count 3-0, likely taking all the way here on this pitch. Thomas. And call that a strike. Not sure if Harrison thought he had a walk there. He was about to sling the bat, I believe. 3-1 might have been just a decoy. Swings at that pitch and pops it straight back. Count runs to full now. Thomas winds and delivers. Ball low in the dirt, and Barnes is aboard with a walk. So Tuskegee trying to get something started here in the bottom of the second. Trailing it 4-0. Stepping in now, Caleb Kirkland, the second baseman. Throw back over to first base. Barnes is back. 1 down here, bottom of the second. Gerald Bush next in the lineup. That one off the plate by Thomas. That one off the plate as well by Thomas. Good eye there by Kirkland. Kirkland, a junior from Atlanta. Transferred to Tuskegee from Andrew College. Only had 10 plate appearances for Tuskegee. That ball across for a strike at the bottom of the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down, bottom of the second for Tuskegee. Trailing 4-0. Trying to get something going here. Barnes is at first base. Here's the pitch. Off the plate for a ball. Thomas squares. Squibbed right back up the middle, fielding it there, stepping on the bag and over the first. Good double play there by the shortstop, Adrian McNeil. Slid right across first, second base. And, oh, by the way, let me step on the bag. My throw over the first is true to get the double play. And Tuskegee comes up empty. They leave another runner on base here in the bottom of the second. We go to the third with Savannah leading at 4-0. Back here at Washington Field, Tuskegee trailing at 4-0. We go to the top of the third. Before we get to baseball action, I want to extend my apologies to the Neal family. Understood that I've inadvertently called Elgin another name, her first name, and not Elgin as his first name. I think I said maybe Elijah. My apologies for that. As we say in the church, charge that to my head, not my heart. He's at first base for Tuskegee. Tuskegee trailing at 4-0. Mason on the hill for Tuskegee. That one near the knees, but low. As Hunter Bradshaw, second plate appearance by him. He walked his first time through for Savannah. This one chopped on the ground. Glass charging at third, flips across the diamond. And waiting at first base, Elgin Neal with the easy tag there for Tuskegee for the out. So they retire Bradshaw, and that'll bring up Hicks for Savannah. Hicks singled his first time up and wraps one down the line for another base hit here. May go for extra bases. He'll turn the corner. Puts on the jets now, heads down to second base. He'll have to dive in there for it. Did they get him? Yeah, they got him at second base. Good throw in there from outfield by Tuskegee. And they gunned down Hicks trying to get another bag there. Had a single for sure. Got about halfway. Tried to turn things on, but it was too late. Tuskegee got it in quickly. The throw from Hardaway out in left field. Spot on to the cutoff. And they pick him down at second base. So Hicks got the single, but got greedy. Got him picked off at second base. Taking a look at it on our replay here. Producer Crenshaw says he thinks that he might have been in there. But thank goodness they don't have the replay here. So he's retired. And that'll bring up Pinkleton. He's already down in the count and took a pitch there for a strike. Got on a walk first time through. Eventually scored in that first inning for Savannah. Mason from the hill fires. This one chopped on way wide of third this time and foul. It's in there for strike 3. Mason finding his zone now. First strikeout of the ball game. He retires Pinkleton here in the 3rd. So Tuskegee coming to the plate now, trailing at 4-0. Got to get the bats going here as we head into the bottom of the 3rd after this break. Catcher Gerald Bush start things off at Tuskegee in the bottom of the 3rd. Braden Thomas, a freshman, on the mound for Savannah. Bush will be followed by Hardaway, who made an excellent throw from left field to gun down Hicks at second base on the cutoff. First pitch taken by Bush for a strike. Thomas fires. Same location, same call. Thomas, the freshman, looking sharp here in this ball game. A 4-0 lead, picking the corners right now. No balls, 2 strikes. And Gerald able to lay off of that one. How, I don't know, but the count goes to 1-2. That one low. And the count at 2-2 now. 2-2 count. Pitch swatted out the left field and deep. Back toward the fence line, and that one hits the base of the fence line as well. Gerald thought it was out of here. That's why he didn't run that hard. May have gotten a double out of that, but he hit it so hard and it got out there so quickly. Didn't want to do the same thing that Hicks did. He hit a deep ball and tried to stretch it to a double. He got picked at second. But Bush aboard for Tuskegee in the bottom of the 3rd with a long single to left field. I think he thought he got all of it. Brian Hardaway in the box, a sophomore from Atlanta. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. Tuskegee trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 3rd. Hardaway swings one. He pushes it out to center field. It may die down, lunging for it. Can't get there. And caught up in the rundown. Now it's Bush. Bush had to wait to see if that ball was going to actually be cleared for a base hit. He was kind of in the middle between first and second, trying to wait to see if it fell or they caught it. Didn't want to be too far down the line. If they caught it, he'd have to run all the way back to first. But at some point, you have to make a decision there. And he held up right there in the middle. And after it was dropped out in center field, they easily picked it up and fired to second to get Bush at second base. Top of the order, we go back to Ryan Morrow. So Hardaway on. We give that a single, but Bush out at second base. Pitch missing there as Morrow took that one. Ryan doubled his first time up for Tuskegee. Got Hardaway down at first base. They throw over there to chase him back. Tuskegee trying to see if they can't get him into scoring position. There's one down here, bottom of the third. Here's a pitch from Thomas, chopped on to the shortstop. McNeil flips over the first, with relay, and they got him over there too. Nicely turned by the Tigers of Savannah on the interior. That one goes down as a 6-4-3 double play for the Tigers of Savannah. And Tuskegee comes away empty at the bottom of the third. We go into the fourth. Savannah still leading at 4-0. Number 2 team in the SIAC, the Tigers of Savannah State, with a 4-0 lead over the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Into the top of the fourth inning, they will send up Joseph to start things off. He'll be followed by Russian and then Mahoney, the 3 for Coach Hardy and Savannah. Michael Mason, the junior on the mound for Tuskegee, has settled in the last couple of innings. Joseph struck out. Or correction, got a single first time in the lineup. And he'll be back in the box. Chris Smith in the ball game now for Gerald Bush behind the plate. Not sure if it had something to do with Gerald's base running that got him lifted out of this ball game. As Mason fires our first pitch in there for a strike. So a couple of times there on that sequence on the offensive set there, the fly ball out to right field. Backpedaling is Barnes, and he's right there for the easy out of the catch. So Joseph flies out. And as we talked about Chris Smith being put in the lineup there at catcher for Tuskegee, Gerald at that plate had a deep fly ball to left field. I think he thought he had gotten the distance on it for the home run, so he was in his home run trot and got down to first base. And when it hit the base of the wall, he was in no position to take second base. Then he got picked off on a fly ball to center field that found its way to the grass, and he was in between second and first when the ball was in the air, was holding there to see if it cleared, but he was right there in the middle in the no man's land, and when it fell to the surface, they picked it up and got him at second base. Mason with a curveball there. That one just off the plate. Good pitch by him, though. One down here, top of the fourth. Russian struck out his last time up. Takes a look at a beautiful curveball there by Mason. 1-2. Mason waves off the first signal. Now Roxon fires. Probably should have taken that signal. Missed on that one badly. Trying to go up top with a fastball and went way out of the zone. Shook Smith off of the first pitch that Smith wanted him to throw. We're 2-2 now. Mason with the pitch. Off the plate. Takes it to full count at 3-2. Call strike 3. Wow. Oh, they called strike 3, and Smith with the throwdown threw it all the way out in right field. Smith just into the ball game. Be a little bit excited there. So second K of the ball game for Russian. The ball on top of the 4th. That'll bring up the catcher now, William Mahoney. Mason really starting to settle in on the mound for Tuskegee now. He rocks and fires. That one's just inside. A little bit tight there on Mahoney. That one off the plate as well. So 2-0 count. That one, he found it right down the middle on the pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. Smith, Mason in agreement. Here comes the pitch. Off the plate, though. 3-1 now. As Mahoney steps back in. And that one's off the plate for the walk. So Mahoney draws the walk. He's aboard with 2 down here in the top of the 4th, back to the top of their order. Jaden Oden back to the plate. Scored in the 1st after he got on a walk. And he grounded out to Mason in the 2nd. That pitch off the plate. Good lead down there at first base by William Mahoney at first. And the pitch. That one's over for a strike by Mason. Caught the corner with that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Good stab there by Chris Smith coming up out of his crouch. That one was headed to the backstop. Mason rocks and fires. That one low and off the plate. Three balls, 1 strike to Jaden Oden. Mason throw that one back to the stop there. Smith runs it down. That's on ball 4, so Oden's down at first base. So back-to-back walks by Mason. He walked Mahoney, who's down at 2nd now, as he just walked Oden. McNeil to the plate. He doubled his last time up. That one just off the plate there by Mason. 2 down here, top of the 4th. And the pitch popped up in the center field. Going back out there, coming in to make that catch was Greer. Never signaled that he had it, just kept coming and made the basket catch out in center field for Tuskegee to end the top of the 4th. So 2 walks does not hurt Mason and Tuskegee. Score remains 4-0. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth we go. Tuskegee trailing 4-0. They will send up Alex Glass, followed by Julian Greer, then Scott Williams. Trying to see if they can penetrate this freshman pitcher, Braden Thomas. Thomas with a 4-0 lead. Working comfortably for Savannah State. Glass grounded out to shortstop his last time up. Trying to see if he can't get on for the first time today, including the last ball game and this time here in the second. Glass, the junior from Birmingham. Thomas rocks and fires the first pitch. That one taken for a strike. That pitch off the plate by Thomas. Count to 1-1. A 1-1 pitch chopped on by Glass and fouled off into the Tuskegee dugout. One and two the count to Alex. Thomas fires. Foul tipped and dropped by the catcher, Mahoney. So Glass with another opportunity here. Tipped that right into the mid of Mahoney. He just couldn't hold on. Thomas waves off a couple signs here. Now they agree on it. He squares and fires to the plate. That one low and inside. 2-2 count. Here's a pitch, curveball, swatted out to center field. Coming right there almost in his tracks there was Spencer with the catch for Savannah State. Hard hit ball there by Alex Glass, but straight out to center field. Julian Greer now, the junior. He'll step in. Scott Williams to follow. First pitch in there for a strike on Julian. Greer ground out to the third baseman in the first inning. That one off the plate. High pop up deep to center field, but plenty of room out there is Spencer. And he's under that one. Easy grab for him out in center field. So the last two outs to the center fielder on fly balls. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Scott Williams. Williams round out to second base in the first inning. If he gets aboard, it'll be the first baseman, Elgin Neal. Williams chops that one out the right field, got it down in play. That one will turn toward the corner. Williams on the quick step down to second base for Tuskegee. He'll be in there with a stand-up double for the Golden Tigers. Williams, a first pitch hitter, jumped on that pitch and drove it out the right field for the base hit. So he's aboard at second base. And first baseman Elgin Neal now up to the plate to see if he can push him over. Elgin on a ground ball to the shortstop in the second inning. Retired there, trying to see if he can't get aboard. So Williams down at second base. Tuskegee's already left a couple of runners on in this ball game on base. We'll see if Elgin can make the difference here on this plate appearance. Took the first pitch outside for ball one. Williams down at second on the double. And the pitch. That one found the corner by Thomas. 1-1. Elgin with a gap there between first and second if he can punch it through there. Here's the pitch. Trying to go that way, but got it to the first baseman instead. Right to Bradshaw, who will step on the bag for out number 3. Had the right idea. Just got it too close to first. So he's retired, and so is Tuskegee. They need another man on at the end of the 4th. We go into the 5th with Savannah leading it 4-0. We head to the top of the 5th. Savannah with a 4-0 lead. And they'll send Kendall Spencer back up to the plate. Spencer flew out to center field his last time up. Michael Mason settling in for Tuskegee. Delivers a pitch here. That one in for a strike. It'll be Spencer, Bradshaw, and Hicks back up for Coach Hardy and Savannah State. This one popped up into left field. Barnes has been busy. Got space there. Watches that one sail right into his glove. Easy catch there for him for out number 1. So Spencer retired on a pop-up out to right field. And Hunter Bradshaw up now. He grounded out the 3rd his last time. Mason cocks and fires. Inside pitch almost hit Bradshaw. Able to jump back out of the way just in time on an in-tight fastball. That one on the inside as well, down near the knees. Four nothing lead for Savannah. Mason, this one straight down the middle of the plate for the strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or 2 balls, 1 strike, pardon you. That one in there for a strike as well. Right at the knees. Bradshaw doesn't quite agree with that. Mason deals. And that one out of the strike zone. We are full at 3-2. 1 down, top of the 5th. Three-two pitch, chopped on, foul ball. Hard hit ball down the line, but curved just outside of the line, past third base. 3-2 again. Yeah, that one down in the dirt. So Mason lost him there. And Bradshaw down the first base. One down. Chandler Hicks back to the plate. Hicks singled his last time up, but tried to stretch it into a double. And got picked off at second base. Mason runner going, pitch, dropped it there on the strike called. But Smith not able to transition that baseball into his throwing hand. So Bradshaw picks the bag. Bradshaw, 26 of 26 in stolen bases. And Smith has to pop out of his crouch to catch that ball. Not able to catch it. And over to third goes Bradshaw. It was a high pitch. We'll call it that, a wild pitch. And over the third, Bradshaw, one down. Here's the pitch. This one shot out the right field. Barnes, a couple of steps to his right, tracks the baseball. And here comes a throw at the plate. Deep throw there. Barely got in there. Boy, what an arm there by Barnes out of right field. Barnes on the fly all the way to the plate, just a step or two late before Bradshaw crossed. Impressive catch and throw by Harrison Barnes out in right field. Hicks is retired, but he'll get the RBI on the fly out to right. And that's a 5-0 lead for Savannah as Deshaun Pinkleton steps in now. That one all the way to the backstop. 2 down, top of the fifth. And that one past Smith as well. I got to credit Savannah, though. They really do manufacture runs as a team. Doing everything well here. Bradshaw with a stolen base. Then got over to third on a wild pitch. That's in there for a strike. And then Hicks drove the baseball out to right field deep enough to score Bradshaw from third. That one chopped on. And that one's out of play to the right. So Mason trying to limit this to just one run. But standing in the way is Deshaun Pinkleton. Here's the pitch. That one's off the plate. Mason fires. That one down in the dirt. And that's another walk. Pinkleton gets the free base. And that'll bring up Joseph. Joseph singled in the first. Flew out to right in the fourth. Throw over the first base. Pinkleton no threat of going here just yet. Hadn't shown it. Desmore Joseph back over the first again. So now Mason's got to come home with the pitch. He fires. This one, looper out the third base. Glass across the diamond. Right over the kneel for the easy out. So Tuskegee gives up another run here in the top of the fifth. Savannah goes up 5-0. And Tuskegee coming to bat at the bottom half of the fifth inning. Bottom of the fifth. Tuskegee trailing at 5-0 now. Harrison Barnes steps in. He'll be followed by Caleb Kirkland and then Chris Smith. Thomas deals. Strike over on the first pitch. That one in a little bit tighter, 1-1. Barnes got a base on balls in the second inning. It's left on base at the end of that inning. That one off the plate and low. So Harrison ahead in the count, 2-1. Thomas fires. Same location, 3-1. And that's a walk there. Barnes is aboard. Good batting there by him to start this inning, this second walk of the ball game. Second baseman Caleb Kirkland now. Into a double play in that second inning. Pitch from Thomas. Across for a strike. Tuskegee trying to get a couple of runners across here. Trailing at 5-0 here, bottom of the fifth. Thomas with the pitch, squaring and pulling back the bat. Taking the strike was Kirkland. Thomas fouls this one back to the back screen. Down in the count now, 1-2. Thomas rocks and fires. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by him. Bottom dropped out of that one as he retires Kirkland on a strikeout. That's his first strikeout of the ball game. Chris Smith now to bat for Tuskegee. Smith, the freshman from Atlanta. Throw back over the first to chase Barnes back. Smith not with a lot of playing time for Tuskegee. Only his fourth ball game. The freshman, Thomas, dealing for Savannah State right now. 5-0 lead. He walked Barnes. Harrison's at first. Here's the pitch. Hit in the back is Smith, and he will go down to first base. Tried to come in tight with a curveball. It never broke, and it spiked Smith in the back. So he's aboard, and Harris down to second base. I'll bring up the left fielder, Brian Hardaway. Hardaway singled in the third. And he got left on base. Barnes down at second. Smith at first. Thomas with the pitch. Chopped on to the shortstop. They go to second for one. Over to first, no throw there. Back over to third and standing back in over there. Barnes able to get back. So they get Smith at second. As Hardaway chopped it to the third baseman, or the shortstop, that is. So he's aboard on the fielder's choice. But Smith got retired there at second base. So 2 down here. And back to the top of the order, Ryan Morrow. Morrow couldn't hold up on his swing. Knew that was a ball, but couldn't stop himself, so he's down in the count 0-1. Barnes at third. Hardaway down at first. Tuskegee trailing 5-0. Love to get at least one of these runs in. Thomas going over the third with the throw, but back easily. Harrison really not that far off the bag. Morrow waits. Here's the pitch. That one in for a strike. So Thomas ahead in the count, 0-2. Thomas gets his signal from Mahoney. Rangy right-hander fires, threw that one in the dirt, past Mahoney and back to the screen, and coming in to score for Tuskegee from third base is Harrison Barnes. Now that gets away down. They try to throw it down to second, and digging over to third and standing up over there is Hardaway. So Tuskegee gets its first run on a wild pitch. And over to third base goes Hardaway on the error. And now Morrow stands there with a runner at third, 2 down. And the pitch from Thomas. Curveball in there, called strike 3. Morrow got hung up there. Thought it was a ball, but he strikes out, and Tuskegee able to get one across here at the bottom of the 5th, though. So the lead now 5-1 Savannah, and they will come back to the plate after this timeout. We're headed into the 6th inning. It's a 5-1 lead for the Tigers of Savannah State. Tuskegee got one across in the bottom of the 5th. And it'll be Jacob Russian to start things off with Savannah here in the top of the 6th inning. Russian's been a strikeout victim twice in this ball game. Mason's got 3 overall. He retired Prinkleton on 1, and he got Russian on the other 2. First pitch starts out. That one's off the plate for ball 1. Better pitch there by Mason. Inside corner for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. One delivery. Inside. Gets away from Smith. 2 balls, 1 strike. Russian steps back in. Good time here from Mason to get him 3 up, 3 down. Here's the pitch, shot out to the second baseman. Right there in stride. Kirkland flips over the first, and one down. So Russian retired on the ground out to Kirkland at second base. And that'll bring up William Mahoney, the catcher. Mahoney got on a base on balls the last time he was up. On top of the fourth, takes the first pitch in this sequence for a ball.
Let's go 3-2, let's go 3-2, get it started right here.
Mason with the pitch. That one thrown high. 2 balls, no strikes to the catcher, Mahoney. That one in for a strike. Reminder that we're back here on the Tuskegee campus on Wednesday. Golden Tiger Sports Network covering Tuskegee University softball. That one chopped out to right field on his bicycle, now finding the space for it and pulling it in easily is Harrison Barnes. Barnes, great jump on that fly ball. Runs it down about 10 steps to his right. So 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Going to go back to the top of the order now with Jaden Oden stepping in. Oden got on a base on balls in the 4th. Takes his first pitch for a ball. Scored in the 1st. And his back-to-back walks has put him on board. And swings at this one out in the right field. This is going to be a long run for Barnes, but he'll get there and run it down to his right. So Barnes, great workout defensively in right field. That retires the Tigers of Savannah State in the top of the 6th. 1-2-3. They lead it 5-1. Tuskegee back to the plate after the timeout. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, Tuskegee trailing 5-1. Moreau struck out to end the bottom of the 5th for Tuskegee. So starting the 6th, it'll be Alex Glass, Julian Greer, and Scott Williams. Glass flew out to center last time up. Thomas with the pitch off the plate for ball 1. Thomas with the pitch. This one chopped on, deep ball to center field. That one's got a good carry on it all the way back toward the fence. And an over-the-shoulder grab. How about that catch by Spencer? Trying to judge where he was against the wall out in center field. And had just enough room to run over the shoulder with the grab and ran right into the padded fence right afterwards. Thomas breathes a sigh of relief. Glass struck that one hard to center field. He thought he had it out of here as well. And Spencer Out in center, just judged it perfectly. That's difficult to do when you're visiting a ballpark that you don't play in every day. Played that one perfectly out in center. So Glasser's retired on the deep fly ball. Now Greer takes the first pitch in for a strike. Thomas deals. That one off the plate a bit, 1-1. This one popped up and ranging to his right. Center fielder Spencer again. Can of corn for him there. That's easier than the one he caught before that. So 2 down on flyouts to center field. Glass, now Greer. That'll bring up Scott Williams. So Williams trying to keep this bottom of the 6 alive for Tuskegee. Thomas rocks and fires. First pitch off the plate. Scott is proven to be a first pitch hitter. That one off the plate. Didn't offer at that one. This one swings at it, pops it up. And behind the plate, Bradshaw, or Mahoney that is, with a good job of tracking that baseball. And he collects the out. So Williams flies out to the catcher. And that ends the bottom of the 6th for Tuskegee. So we go to the top of the 7th for the Tigers of Savannah. They lead it 5-1. Into the top of the 7th. Savannah State with a 5-1 lead. They'll send up McNeil, Spencer, and Bradshaw. If anybody gets on board, Chandler Hicks would follow. Michael Mason still working the mound for Tuskegee. That one chopped on first pitch and fouled off right side. Tuskegee just had that slow start. They gave up their early runs, 4 runs early on. Since then, settled in well. As Mason bounces that one up there. One and one. Mason deals. Chopped on, hard hit ball, but foul. Left side, just wide of third base. So Mason ahead in the count, 1-2. Fires back and fires here. Curveball over for strike 3. Good pitch. Fourth strikeout of the ball game for Mason. Spencer steps in. He flew out to center field his last time up. Mason high on that pitch. Same location on that one. That one drilled out into right field. Out to get down for a base hit. May roll to the base of the fence, and it will. Digging for second and thinking about third, never stopping. Turns on the jets and headed to third with the slide. Nicely done there. And that's a triple for Kendall Spencer. Spencer found the gap between center and right and drove it to the fence. And he's aboard with a triple. Spencer with his second triple of the season. And Savannah threatening here with one down in the top of the 7th. They lead at 5-1. As Hunter Bradshaw steps back in. Bradshaw scored in the bottom of the 5th. Got one to the right side, and that'll be nicely done on the bunt. He'll be retired at first, but he'll get the RBI as he drives in Spencer from third. So Spencer didn't spend any time on the base pads. Got on the triple, and Hunter bunts him right over to the plate. So Bradshaw retired. That's one down, top of the 7th, but another across for Savannah. They lead at 6-1 now. Timeout called there at the plate. Stepping in there, Chandler Hicks called a timeout. Right around the end of that delivery, he wasn't quite ready yet. But Mason was already in his windup. Jonathan Smith allowed the timeout called by Hicks. And Mason popping leather there. Misses the zone though. Ready again, Michael fires. Pop up and out of play right side. Hicks flew out to right field last time up. Scored in the first inning. One and one. Mason overshoots that one. There it seems like Mason's getting a little bit excited. Tends to overthrow from the mound. Velocity is good, but location's better. Chopper on the ground. Kirkland fills that one at second. Fires over to Neal for the out at first base. So side retired here in the top of the 7th for Savannah. And Tuskegee coming up for its last time, trying to overcome a 6-1 deficit after the timeout. Tuskegee, bottom of the 7th, trailing 6-1. Down to their final 3 outs. It'll be Neal, Barnes, and Kirkland to the plate. Elgin retired 3 unassisted last time up. Rangy first baseman takes the first pitch in for a strike. Thomas deals. That one's off the plate. Tuskegee trailing 6-1. And Elgin takes a strike there. One ball, 2 strikes. Thomas set to deal. Curveball. Food. Neal strikes out, but they'll have to throw him out at first base. That curveball almost in the dirt there, and Elgin not able to hold off on it. So he's retired. And here comes Harrison Barnes. Tuskegee down to its final 2 outs now. Thomas deals. This one shot out to center field. That one made, no, it's running in to make the catch is Spencer. Shouldn't be surprised by that. He got a good jump on that baseball as it was dying toward the surface, but able to run in and grab it right about shoulder high. So Barnes flies out to center, and down to the last hope now. Caleb Kirkland steps in. Kirkland struck out his last time. Thomas, first pitch off the plate inside. That one finds the corner on a fastball by Braden Thomas. Freshman has been impressive in this ball game. Can't get the bat off his shoulder as Kirkland takes that strike. Final strike here. Curveball popped up and out of play. Kirkland stays alive. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed by Kirkland. So Kirkland not able to catch up with that one. And Tuskegee falls in the second ball game 6-1 to the Tigers of Savannah. So Tuskegee can't come back in this one. So they lose both today. First ball game 13-4, and they fall in the second one 6-1. So Savannah now ups his record to 22-8 and 17-7 in SIAC play. Tuskegee 9-24 or 25 after this loss, and 7-15 in conference play after the loss to Savannah. So they got together for a 3-game set over the weekend. Tuskegee won the first one on Friday, and the 2 today go to the Tigers of Savannah. That'll do it from our coverage here. We'll take a quick time out, come back, wrap things up here on the Golden Tiger Sports Network. Back live here at Washington Field. Tuskegee falls in both ball games today. They lose in the first one 13-4, and they lose in the second ball game of the doubleheader 6-1. That'll do it for our coverage from here, but certainly want to thank all of the fine folks at Tuskegee, including President Charlotte Marsh, Dr. Rolandis Rice, Chief Operating Officer, Director of Athletics Reginald Ruffin, Deputy Chief Athletics Director Deborah Rogers, and Jordan Benson, Sports Information Director, as well as Nick Brown with Game Operations. But certainly want to thank James Crenshaw and Woodlawn Entertainment for being here for our production this afternoon from Tuskegee. Called in at the last moment, but did a first-rate job, as usual. Camera operators Malachi Ards and Nadir Bakari with our coverage with the cameras. And we're back here on the Tuskegee campus on Wednesday at the softball complex. Head coach Dietrich Randall and the Golden Tigers will host the Skyhawks of Point University. Doubleheader action, first ball game starts at 1 p.m. from the softball field. Please make your plans to join us then. Until then, Charles One on behalf of everybody here with the Golden Tigers Sports Network saying thanks so much for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday. This has been a production of the Golden Tigers Sports Network.